Hello and welcome back to Inside Politics here on Universal Television, UTV Africa. Thank you for joining us once again. My name is Maddox, Maduka Ojimadu. In the last episode of this program, I told you we will be continuing the conversation with our previous guest. Yes, he needs very little introduction, but to whom honor is due, you grant him. He's our guest, Otunba Dr. Segun Showunmi. He is a very outspoken, very articulate, and I must say, fearless advocate for a good Nigeria. I would have called him a politician, but really he's something above being a politician. He's still a young man, but I see him as a statesman. Otunba Dr. Segun Showunmi, thank you so much for making it your time.
Actually, as a matter of fact, I always tell myself that Segun, if politics is to play to your advantage, I know where my advantage is.
Yes.
But you see, what I have seen is that for me, every opportunity to serve or do anything is an opportunity for immortality. I don't believe that we can be greater than the Awolowos, Azikiwe, or Tafawa Balewa.
Yeah.
And I believe that we must learn to think that way before we get opportunity. And I don't even believe that one person in position is enough. I actually believe in a lot of us who are thinking that way in position can do. Because imagine if Buhari was somebody who really wanted great for this country. His greatest undoing was that he surrounded himself with mediocres and thieves. And what can he do? Sometimes a leader is helpless. A leader can be captured by so-called followers. Imagine somebody wake up in the morning, go and carry airline, paint it. And you know how he must have believed. You know, the point is not that imagine how he would have believed that they carried him there to go and cut tape of Air Nigeria, because he would have believed that that which was undoable before
Has now been done.
Only to turn out to be a joke. If it's not that the man is dead, I'm sure he must really despise and hate that guy. And that's why he warned them. He's so rest in peace that you are on your own. I can guarantee you that Buhari in his grave is very unhappy with Bola Tinubu, because he would not have expected him to treat them with kids' glove. He would have expected him to bound them all together, tie them, and go and throw them inside one cell, because that's what he did to judges. Buhari would not have accepted, or he would not have liked the idea that under the guise of party government is leaving them. They are just coming in, they go to court today, tomorrow they leave them. Me, you better pray. I know when I will become. Wait, a David Comet, a Pharaoh Comet, that not Joseph.
Otunba, I know you schooled in the north. You schooled in ABU.
No, I can ask you. I schooled in Kaduna.
You schooled in Kaduna. Yes. And you easily quote the Bible as much as you quote the Quran.
You cannot lead this nation unless you know the boat.
And I think you are also one of the biggest advocates for Igbo inclusion.
Absolutely.
In national.
I have bled for it.
Politics.
I've accused my Igbo friends and my Igbo brother. You people, you owe me a chieftaincy title, because before you even believed in the Peter, I had already front-loaded ideas there. So I worked very hard.
No.
And you know why?
Yeah, tell us. Go ahead.
Because you see, Segun Showunmi, I believe that 3 brothers collected the Article of Independence. Nnamdi Azikiwe,
yes,
Tafawa Balewa, and the Awolowo. It doesn't mean one individual, but those were the 3 zones used to collect independence. I do not agree. I repeat, I do not agree that this my beloved Nigeria will be passing baton between one group and another group and leave out the third leg. I believe that justice, equity, and fairness means that since nobody can become president by himself, Buhari could not become president by himself, Obasanjo could not become president by himself, even the Buhari could not become president by himself, Jonathan could not become president by himself, Yar'Adua. So I believe that we have to find a way to conspire with ourselves and carry somebody from that southeast and put him in that villa. Let us even see. The Armageddon he wants to let him bring in, let's see. But you know the problem? They don't understand that, with profound respect to their feelings, that you can't be so angry with all the tribe at the same time. And that's what the 2023 election is. And you know, to my credit, I want Peter. Ibiko is not dead. Ayo Atoyo is dead. I called him after he had become the candidate of Labour. And I saw the way the whole thing was going. But luckily for me, the former governor Mimiko was in one hotel, I think Bond Hotel. I came, I said, come, Peter came, me, him, Peter. And I said, Peter, you have caused problem now. I said, and they had not done the election. He said, what was the problem? I said, you have created a scenario for us now where the Igbos are going to be forced to be attacking two big tribes at the same time. Can we not bring you as placeholder, remove that one that's calling himself vice president, and bring you back onto the ticket so that we can just achieve it since because
back to the PDP ticket.
Yeah, that time. And I did branch it that look, if they are using placeholder to remove Masari and put somebody, which we can use placeholder to remove Okwa, who will not contribute anything to the place apart from money, and bring you so that we can succeed. Of course, I'm never right until after I've been right. Eventually, they didn't do that. You know what happened? Unfortunately, Ashadu won that election without a doubt, and he's been sworn in. In the last 2 years, his movement or his supporters, like was obedient, nobody has seen any action of Peter reprimanding them, telling them that this type of behavior is not acceptable, or calling them to order. So it then not me, it then gave the impression that their bigotry now became his bigotry. Unfortunately, he's not in the president, so he's not the same like Bola. Because somebody can say, and your bigotry is Bola, but at least that one is president now. So now we've now found ourselves in a difficult situation. I still went to him after he lost. My beloved brother, I call him Okute Nigeria. Okute Nigeria now, listen, you have done well. You have returned the pride of Indigbo to them in election in Nigeria. Nobody's going to ever take the Igbos for granted again. But now we need to do something. You know what I said? I said, you see that your 6.something million that was allocated for you, let us warehouse it and curate it behind you. Find the platform you want to use. Then we will find 36 sharp people who will line behind you as governor. Leave them with this their noise and let us go and charge and see what we will get out of it. Is that not a good advice? What is it? You will run here, you will run there, you will run here. You go and say to people that are not like him, you'll be telling them they are going to do coalition. Coalition, he knows that they can never give him ticket.
We'll come back to the coalition.
The bottom line is that I have a great heartbreak as a result of how he has
handled issues.
Therefore, because I'm asking myself, if Azadu, other talk there, Azadu may win the election easily. It's up to him to lose it really, but the election is won already by him. It's up to him now to lose. You know, there's a difference between he's trying to win it. Azadu has won that next election.
It's his election to lose.
It is now his election to lose if he's careless. But then they will have to go to the north. The person will come. Now that we have said if pendulum swims north 8 years, so that's what he wants to do it here. That's in 10 years' time. In 10 years' time, how will the Peter be? Sharper boys, trainer boys will be ready if they can.
It should be about 70 or that.
Something. It's not 70, it's over 60 something now. So it's something. Peter is not 60 now. He's over.
I think it's about 62, 63
now. He's over 65. Okay. When I take his birth certificate, unless I started doctoring it. Now, by that time, at the rate at which AI is going, at the rate at which things are morphing, it will be over. Unfortunately, we may not even have the energy and the gravitas to sustain the argument of rotation.
It's rotation.
Because sharper men may have come in the same.
Ideas might change.
The dynamics might change. So Peter is playing with the hope of too many people.
I want us to hold on this thought, but I still want us to go back to that ethnic matter. You did hint at it in our last conversation,
yes, of course.
Where you see, especially on social media, people tearing at each other over ethnic lines and what is now being termed Igbophobia in the southwest or among southwesterners, Yorubas, mostly in Lagos, and then you see all these fights back and forth. Why are Yorubas and Igbos at each other's throats?
It's beyond embarrassing. Beyond embarrassing. Their history, their culture is so intertwined that you just have to weep that how could these people allow this? In the former times, the Civil War happened. After the Civil War, Awolowo insisted that the Southwest be opened. Your cousins who are in Ikwere land in Port Harcourt, they didn't even agree to return your assets. The Yorubas were returning. We never imagined that these people that are coming to do business in our land one day now start to insult us on our own land.
You think Igbos are insulting Yorubas?
Just listen now. When you begin to feed the narrative of no man's land, Hausa people have been living with us forever. Nupi people have been living with us forever. They've never uttered such a phrase. When you get the impression that your host is not your friend, that the only friend you have is your brother, and when, unfortunately, the divisive politics and the lack of management by the leaders of the country allowed what should have been stopped in its stride to take root, how are you going to control this? When we were doing the 2023 election and this matter came and they were saying things, I went on radio, I spoke in Yoruba, I spoke in English, I screamed at them, this is dangerous. Were their leaders deaf? Today now, you have all but done that. At a point, I even went as far as saying, can we not have, instead of what is Yoruba, can we not have city-state concepts? You know what's called a city-state concept? You look at a state like Lagos and start to imagine it like a country. It's a state within Nigeria.
Yeah.
It will contend with the laws of the country. But if you had the imagination that it was a country, then you then imagine that all the people that are resident in Lagos and living in Lagos are the citizens of a city-state. Then you will skip over that concept of tribalism, because that tribalism only works within the Nigerian context. The true Lagosians are a very small population. Most of the people that are even talking nonsense in Lagos are either from Abeokuta, from Oyo, from Osun, from this, from that, from Ijebu and all that. So what's the difference between them and their Igbo brothers? But until you consciously design it like that, and you put institution to make it so, and you write laws to say that nobody will be ethnically profiled here, a certain attitude, you reorientate people, you do what you call cultural simulation, and create a new Lagos race out of them. After all, it's on record that at some point in time in the history of Lagos, some Benin people, Eko and all of that story. And the Benin's in true sense now come and telling Yoruba people that they own Lagos. History, human beings, especially in Africa, we are all product of migration. Even the Igbos themselves, when you look at their story, some people argue they came from Benin, some say they are from Ghana, some say they are from, all of these stories. Some part of the Yoruba history even says that Igbos and Yorubas were even so tightly related together around Ife at some point in time, and that even our cultures are the same. Some people will tell you that even if we did our DNA, the differences is not much. Why should we agree that just because of this geographical entity called Nigeria, we are to hate ourselves?
So at the end of the day, it's all politics.
No. I don't even want to call it politics. It's all mismanagement of national identity. We should create a Nigerian identity.
Some people are saying the Lagos state government is not helping issues, the way they've handled some of these issues, renaming of streets.
You don't understand.
And
my brother. If I wake up in the morning and all I can see to do is to abuse in a way, how long will it take before the owners of the land in Owerri, especially even if I have some little commerce and little change, how long will it take before the owners of the land will start saying, no, is it not the same Owerri people and Anambra people that cannot even allow a bishop from Imo to sit on the pulpit in Anambra? So I'm trying to tell you that it's not uniquely Yoruba or Igbo. What is causing the problem in the north? Where are the Hausa people, the owners of the Happy Empire? It's not just a small tribe called Fulani that is doing whatever they want there. What is happening in the Middle Belt? Why should somebody that is from Jos be afraid? What's happening in Southern? The point I'm making is that those of us that are in this Nigerian space, that have been coupled here via the Western Treaty of creating countries, we have to own all of our issues. The problem happening in Katsina is my problem, just as the problem happening in Lagos is your problem. That's the only way now. If we know that we don't want to live together, we can break it up so we can have peace. But some of us don't believe we cannot still make it. Some of us believe that never mind that we had a civil war, here we are standing. Never mind slave trade, we are standing. Never mind colonization, we are standing. Never mind what they call it, neo-colonization, we are standing. Never mind all the economic, we are standing. Never mind what they've thrown at us, we are standing. Some of us believe in the spirit of Nigerianness. But we need more of us. I don't understand what the responsibility of those that are calling themselves presidency, let me just call it that way, who must have the overarching responsibility of making sure that a united nation can be making itself more united. Why do you think I was screaming when they didn't balance power? Because I felt that by not balancing those appointments, I felt that they are going to provide the wherewithal for people to be saying it's a Yoruba government. And I can tell you we're not getting anything better than the others. Now, we are here now. We have to be dealing with the consequence of that. But this is Nigeria now. There are 36 states in this country. If you gave any state the profile of who you want to appoint as Minister of Finance, if you give it to them in Katsina, they will bring you Katsina man that can do it. Sure. If you give it to them in Igbo, they will bring you. The human capital and education is now all over the place for the Africans. We are doing spectacularly, fantastically well in other countries of the world, in all their universities, in all their Ivy Leagues. We don't have to allow my brother to be the reason why we cannot have a united country. But you know what? You have created a constitution that allows the president to make his own appointment as he likes, underneath a so-called rule of at least one per state. So once the president has fulfilled the directive principle and intention of the constitution, others are his discretion. And when they start to use discretionary powers without being sensitive to how it looks, how do you not expect it to be so? Why should the Igbos direct and control the directive principle of the policies of the Southeast and insist that the Yorubas cannot control the directive principle of their own area, and the Hausas and Fulani people not controlling the directive principle of their area? It's pretty fair. But I don't agree that Lagos will not have a special idea of what governance is, of what city-state concept is. I've been screaming it, that it is time for us to move away from this exclusive nationalistic prism and be looking at the city-state concept. Do you know what I always sing anytime I'm with my friends in the Southwest? I'll sing the song for you on air. I've told them, the Igbos people will be tied to. I used to sing, my leg carry me they go, my leg carry me they go, anywhere Igbos go, carry me they go, anywhere Igbos go, carry me they go. I am not sure that there's any non-Igbo in Nigeria that loves Igbos more than me. I'm not sure. There may be somebody out there. Every time I make something that seems like criticism, that they start misbehaving, I'm not criticizing them. I'm just trying to push them away from the danger. Imagine what I was saying. I said, Peter, you need to stop using your voice to demarcate the country, because you can't win leadership in Africa on the basis of procuring and stimulating anger and hate. Anger and hate is only for implosion. You can't implode a multi-ethnic, multi-tribal country, because who is going to allow you to implode their side? So the next best thing is hope. And I said, okay, all these things that you are saying, can you not be talking a little bit more hopeful? Especially when you are abroad. Because you have no idea the amount of negativity that is even being planted in the Nigerians in diaspora, even against themselves. Shall you be a prince of only everything is bad? Can't you be a prince of the future is bright like me? Can't you use your big voice for the country? Won't election come? Won't you campaign? Why must we agree that we're going to have a Nigerian nation that round the clock, all through the year, 4 years in a row, non-stop. Anybody that loses an election, the next thing for him to be doing is to say that the government is Dubai, this is this, wishing this country bad. For what? Is that how other nations are doing it? In any case, do we even have the gravitas to say that we have solved the problem of our people before we be adding frustration to the burden that they are carrying? So that is it. These people started misbehaving, they will start to abuse you and all that, and there's a way you don't want to answer them because they are really small children. But there's a way you will just get angry and just give them a backhand. Because really, why should you control the directive principle of the area and I will not control mine? People have asked me, who is the example of my example of a good governor in Nigeria? I've said Mba is from Enugu. I'm not from Enugu now. So I have the ability to have beautiful eyes. I can see good when there's good. And if there's something that I think that we should adjust, I can talk about it. So, hey, as far as I'm concerned, we need to start massive reorientation with consequence. We need to draw the line. Do you know how xenophobic attack starts in countries? Xenophobic attack starts in countries because people are feeding hate and tribal division uncontrollably. And then one small spark, you start killing yourself. Why do we need the Rwanda and Burundi in Nigeria? Do we even have is there any nation that can even accommodate us if we get destabilized? You know what war is? War is that even the money in your hand will be useless because nobody is in the market to sell food. You won't even be able to go to the farm. People are going to, no. We cannot. Democracy, I want to be president, is not going to be a good enough reason to allow that in our country. No. And everybody must stand against it. But for us to do, it's not enough to say no. We must commence stylized reorientation and consequence. Reorientation, consequence, reorientation, consequence, reorientation, consequence, so that we can get a new culture. We must do better with our deep state assets. They are too useless. Nations are not left like this. But hey, we can only advocate. I don't have power yet. I pray that one day when I come and tell people I want to be this, you will vote for me if you like. Okay. But if you don't vote for me, it's your trouble. I have always said I don't believe in serving people by force.
Now let's zero in on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Jagaban. Yeah.
2 years down the line. Some people say he has started campaigning for re-election way too early. There's still some governance to do. But tell me, how well or not so has he done? Can you score him in some key sectors, the economy, security, and others?
Try to answer you.
I do not know you're someone who is afraid of trouble.
I will answer you honestly. In terms of his vision for education, I was scoring very, very high.
Okay.
And for very high by means you start getting 8 or 9. In terms of his concept around what he wants to do with, specialized economic zone, that's South Sea Development Council, SASA, I was scoring extremely high because that gives them a platform for peer review and idea sharing and sharing of their own developmental direction according to what they want to think or see. I was scoring extremely high. In terms of his desperate attempt to get the local government to be free by giving them more money and insisting that if you don't do local government election, if you like, do it crookedly. If you like, don't do it crookedly, just go and do it. If you don't have local government election, there will be no money. I'll score it very high because those are the practical implementation of a restructured country. In terms of his economic policy, I will say comme ci, comme ça. Comme ci, comme ça in the sense that will be probably giving 50. The reason why I'm saying comme ci, comme ça is that I get what the direction is. A free market economy must be free from all the trappings of subsidy and all that. Even the countries of the world like England and Canada and all that, they are crying on the weight of welfare cost, which they can now no longer meet, and they are beginning to react. Luckily for us, since we didn't really have that big welfare, the only things we have done is cut subsidy in some areas and all that. I see that direction. My issue with that policy, truly there are two. The first is that I don't expect that those who got us into that mess as a result of abuse of that opportunity and privilege, I don't expect them to be working free.
There should have been consequences.
No, they should. The reason is that, you see, your friends, let me just call it so, have robbed the whole country, have abused subsidy, have abused arbitrage, have made money at the expense of Nigerian people, and you want to stop it, but you carry the burden of their own misbehavior and put it on the poor without a commensurate punishment to those who did that. Nations are not run that way. That's why I said come see, come. I get what he wants to do. I don't agree that there won't be consequence. Number two, I have advocated, I hope he hears, that now that you have this kind of strange federation, you need what you call a presidential liaison officer in every state. That presidential liaison officer will help you to mass all the intervention that you want to do in the state, and they will take it to the people so that the people can see what the federal government is doing, as against them thinking that, oh, the federal government is doing nothing just because their states are doing nothing. So the people cannot separate the extra intervention of the federal government in their life. And so if their governors are not performing, clearly the federal government may not be so. So what I have advocated under our complex arrangement, appoint 36 presidential liaison officers. We have them with the authority that they now take your interventions to the state. So the governors, if they like, when they take their own money and they are using it anyhow, at least your own presidential liaison officers can help you to drill down your support, and the people can see precisely what the federal government is doing for them. And it can also be a direct opportunity to get feedback from the grassroots. Then you can cut the head of the dinosaur, which is their leaders that are feeding their children with propaganda and not allowing them to see the opportunity and advantage that they need. I would expect to that. In terms of federal character, that's where I will score him very low. I will barely score him 2 on that.
Over 10.
Over 10. The reason is that I think he didn't get that. We desire that all parts of Nigeria should be should be seen to have responsibilities in that government, so that everybody can own the government. If it appears as if your tribe are the ones that hold things in the government, you have already given us a believability problem in the country. Because if someone say, they are not treating you well, they will say, can't you see? Now they carry all this thing. And other people, they are not treating you well. Say, can't you see? Now, if you had just balanced it, the people you are going to put in position, they will run the government, they can run it. And we will step away from this excuse.
Some people say it's a payback for the way Buhari ran his own government.
Anybody that governs with the principle and concept of a payback is a very, very not so useful leader. If you knew you were going to pay back, why did you tell Buhari that you didn't want to be president after him? After all, Buhari must have helped you to be president in some ways. It could have disqualified you. It could have prevented you from time around to put you in problem. They could have converted you as the fact that Buhari kept this part of the bargain already meant that you have to be fair. And when you look at it, the economic indicators of the country were really in the hands of your people, even when Buhari was there. You guys had the super minister in the first sector, you had works. If you like, you had transport. If you like, you had CBN. You had, so what did Buhari really give his people, apart from the military, which he had to give them since they had to go and confront Boko Haram? And if you said, if Buhari had been president and he had given command to non-northerners to go and be shooting, they will say he has brought foreigners to kill his people. So people are, the nation, I don't accept that excuse. That you did it in a useless way means that when I come after you, I should do it that way. No. And I don't say it because I think those people are not qualified. They are qualified. It is his right. Whatever he likes, he says. But I, Oshekushomi, believe that that is part of the reasons why we are struggling with believability. And that's why we are struggling with saying, this is not a Yoruba government, this is a federal government. And some of the things he's doing, like what is done in Brazil and all that, I worked very hard on that idea before they even came into government. So I'm happy. If the Brazilians open up the economy for us and we can do butterfly short distance and we can do it's okay. I'm happy with what he's doing in terms of I just wish he would have the presence of mind to dump the people that are in that cabinet and now build it with the people that he needs. You know why? The work that politicians do to install the president is too hard a job for them to be feeling left out. And I screamed at the beginning. It's a very difficult job. Do you think our work is easy? Money after who is paying the poor in your country? It's the politicians now. They will come and meet you that their mother is sick, that this us they need. We don't have our money, we cannot even eat with it. Because your people, they will come to us. So we come and dance, we go here, we jump here, we don't sleep. So when they now bring a government into being, it is not right that the members of that organization will be thinking that they are either uncourted or uninvited, or they don't have access to him. I'm particularly unhappy that Kabir Marafa has left him. Because I can tell you things that you may not even know. I know what the likes of Kabir Marafa puts in. So Admiru is now saying he's feeling like use and talk. What do you want somebody like me to say about that? I would just want to beg him, Malam Kabir Marafa, we are not going to allow Ashadu Ahmed Tinubu to destroy a relationship that has been built between the Yorubas and the Hausas and the Hausa Fulanis. It took us decades to build this relationship. And whatever he likes, let him do and not do, we must preserve the sanctity of that relationship. And we owe Shehu Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory, we owe him for the sacrifices he did in trying to make sure that we can have a handshake across Niger. And I don't think that you people who are the successors, who are the first beneficiary of that effort, I don't think people should destroy it. And that's why I would rather say that that's to take it easy. Right. You are very young. Some of us think that you could lead this country, but it is not your responsibility to be destroying parties all the time or be pulling government down. You need to calm down now. Right. Sometimes you might be the victim. Never mind. The one that has brought all humans into the world is more fair and more just. It is not for you to be trying to do justice at the expense of stability in the country. That's what I would say on that. And as for my friends in Indigo land, you still owe me my title. My name is Otunba Okudili. My name is Okudili Chukwu. Bring my title. I've suffered for you people. All right, we'll be going on this break. When we come back, we'll have the final verdict from Otunba on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we'll be doing the last part of the conversation. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Politics on Universal TV, UTV Africa. We are on the last leg of our conversation today with Otunba Dr. Segun Okudili. Yes, Showunmi, who has been giving us some great nuggets of wisdom on Nigerian politics today. So by the time we went on that break, we asked you to give us your take on the President Tinubu administration in as few words as possible. Forget all the politics, forget the power of incumbency and all. Do you think President Tinubu has done enough to rightfully earn him a second term in a free, fair, credible democratic election in Nigeria? Listen, to win the presidency of Nigeria, however you prime it, you need at least 3 or 4 zones, depending on how many people are in the race. Okay. As things stands today, Bola Ashwaji is going to win the Southwest. Okay. He is likely going to win the South-South. Okay. Because you have all their big players, their governors all now turning and saying they are there. Never mind what people are saying. This is not the Jonathan era, and I don't mean it in any snide manner. It's just that the governors there are more experienced politicians, and they are more determined. And they didn't just start jumping so that they can lose. He's going to do very well, much better in the Southeast than he did before. Because unfortunately, people that could have given him a challenge in the Southeast, the PDP, they have become reduced in the Southwest. And they became reduced because they did not smell the coffee. After Peter did the bit he did, and I warned the PDP, I said, hey, my party, we have lost the geese that laid the golden egg. These Igbos are the ones carrying us. The Indigbos, I'm saying it again, full chest, Indigbos are the ones that have been carrying PDP. Now that we've lost them, we better crawl back on our bellies and go and beg them. We didn't do that. Now they are neither here nor there with us. If Peter gets a good ticket, they may try one more time. But the Igbos are not going to lose the things that their governors are doing because of us. So more than likely, you are going to tell me that Obuzodima will not bring votes? Or is it Dave Umahi in combination with the guy in Neboi? Or is it you're going to tell me that Uba will not bring votes? How? Or you're going to tell me that, what's his name? This man. The one in Anambra.
Chair, Professor Soludo.
Professor Soludo and Wekunife, who are now in APC and Soludo. The numbers will be there. Don't let anybody kid you. So he will do well. Tell me how Peter is not going to do well in the North Central. Are you going to accuse him of being the one killing you? How? Okay. Let's go to the far north. Is it the people that are waiting to be president as a next generation that will not be willing to take a risk with all these recycled elements? Or do you look at the vice president and see him like somebody that will not get votes? In fact, the way I'm even seeing the vice president, that vice president may be the very first vice president that will be president on his own rights.
But there are insinuations that the president might want to drop him.
Like, let him bungle his own ambition. Now, what is my business? Am I in his party? Is his business? The vice president has been, so appropriate. Oh, I came to represent my Oga. I came to this. He has restrained himself so much. He will go to the Southwest when they are having functions. He's our friend. Kanuris and Yoruba and Egba people were even brothers. We are twins in our history. Yes, Kanuris and Egba people are brothers in our own history. From our migrationary history, the Egbas and the Kanuris. Can you see the way our caps are? So he comes there. We have not seen him behaving like a madman in the villa. He's not fighting anybody. He's just managing himself. Never mind all the insinuation.
I think you used the right word. He's been quite appropriate.
Man, it's been very appropriate. I've been watching him. I don't have time for calling somebody's horse a cat. If it's a horse, it's a horse. If it's a cat, it's a cat. So is it that one and Professor Zulum that will not get numbers? Okay, when you come to Kaduna, never mind the Wawa that Peter, what's his name? Arafai is doing. Is he the one that will tell Ubasani and all the Sanis not to? Even when he said Ubasani is his mentor, I wanted to go and slap him. Where was he when June 12 and people like Ubasani were going to prison? Did we know you?
That's Sheikh Husani.
Yeah, when Sheikh Husani and Ubasani too.
Ubasani, yes, that's true.
When Sheikh Husani and Ubasani were going to prison because of democracy, where were you, Nasiru? You just look at somebody and call him your mentor because you became governor before him. So because you became governor before him, you are now his. What kind of annoying, irritating, arrogant, and very disrespectful comment? He's your colleague, he's even your senior in democracy. You came after now what's his name? Atiku Abubakar came to invite you from London to Nigeria. These were the men on whose shoulders this democracy they bled for it. Don't say that to him ever again. So what are you talking about? Or is it in Kano that you have already gone to look at your crystal ball? They told you that Gandhi will not be able to bring some numbers. Tell me now. So I'm not saying the president is going to have all the numbers there, but to say he's not going to have numbers is just wishful thinking. And you don't own Buhari's votes. Buhari owns his vote because Buhari's lifestyle is not Igbo's lifestyle. Buhari lived an aesthetic life, very, very minimal, very, very narrow, and all that. And he was quite a very, very pious man. Which of you can carry that vote on you? Some of you want to be governor, some of you are just worrying about your bloody ambition. And your individual ambition is not going to be up to the government. If Bola Tinubu has problem, that's his problem. He has a right to figure out how he's going to manage himself. I've advised him, Mr. President, please, it is not nice that people that work very hard to bring you to government are feeling that they don't have access to you. Even if I were in their shoes, I'd be very angry with you. Because when you were coming, these were the men whom you visited at night, you visited in the morning, you visited in the day, and they left their brother for you. Whatever it is worth, you can't treat them shabbily. They must be treated. And if you have offended people, there's no arrogance in saying, I'm sorry. You're a politician, you can beg them, you can draw them close, you can sit down with them, you can ask them, how do we manage it? Because I won't have you, Mr. President, destroy the long-term sacrifices of leaders of both the Southwest and the North to build a Nigeria that can at least be stable. I'm still shouting that we should find a way to plug the third leg in. Am I going to now allow you to destroy even the two legs that are standing stable? That will not be part of. But other than that, do your best. Stay focused. Manage the sleaze around you. Because I'll be lying if I told you that my ears are not full with the kinds of things that they are saying people are doing around you. Don't be careless with your aids. They may have converted themselves into Alibaba and the 40 thieves behind your back. It is your duty to get the DSS, the NIA, and all the security to look at them very well, so that your case will not be like Buhari. I was not aware. So that you will be aware. I've said my own as your brother and as the leader in this country.
Do you not think that the PDP might upset the apple cart for him? Now they've zoned the presidency
if God
to the
allows
south.
us, if we're able to get our act together, it will be interesting to see.
And do you think PDP has, even if they've zoned to the south now, have they cleaned up their house enough to have that coalition with a Nyesom Wike, who has outrightly said he's supporting the president?
We are the only democratic party in Nigeria.
Why hasn't PDP been able to handle Wike?
APC is a garrison of conquered men in politics.
Wow.
All the other ones are portmanteau political party that one person just carry the portmanteau, they run up and down, is the owner of the party, the presidential candidate. That nonsense they are calling coalition is the coalition of the recycled company.
You don't think that also can upset things for the president to do?
Where would they even stand? Coalitions are done by parties, not by individuals. Individuals cannot come and say they have become a coalition. They just decamped into another party. That's what they've done. Calling it a coalition is disrespectful to the use of the word. What you call a coalition is parties sit down and agree among themselves. It was parties that coalesced in the one that helped APC. This one that Mr. Paul is going on his own, Mr. James is going on his own, is the meandering of over-recycled, excessively ambitious people. And it will not do more than that. And most of them are going to find out that they are not as popular as they thought. Because when we remove the PDP from them, they will fly by themselves and we'll see how far they can go. And when we remove Labour from them, they will fly by themselves and we'll see how they can go. And when we remove the structure of the federal character and federal government behind the ones that were in APC before, we'll see how far they can go. And when we get to the point where we now have to do campaigns, we will see what they have to say. Because you can say whatever you want. The government will have to produce what it has done. And the people who are collecting education loan, new housing structures, all of those roads that they are doing, the legacy. I've gone with Umai around, Dave Umai, Minister of Works. I've seen some of the efforts they are doing on roads. Some of those roads, if they pull them all together, I don't know how you can tell somebody that a great road passed through his area. I've seen that. I've seen how they are trying their very best to manage the economy and to stabilize it. The currency has become stable. Don't be fixated about exchange rate, be fixated about production. Right now, if you have anything you can plant in the ground in front of your house that you can grow and sell to abroad, you will make money. Right now, if you have a way of making money abroad and bringing it home, it's a good time. Right now is a good time for the diaspora people that have money abroad to come and invest at home, because Nigeria is a perpetual money-making, money-spinning country. If the country was not doing well, Chinese people will not be here. White people will not be here. Europeans will not be here. Don't allow anybody to deceive you that there are no opportunities. There are more than enough opportunity here. And on a final note, I'm advising, in case you are hearing, or someone that is close to you, we need a reorientation, a new reworked. I've done the framework for you. If you like, make me a good man, I'll give you a reworked national orientation agency with bites, so that we can start changing the attitude and the character of our people. They will even know what they're doing, and we'll rescue them from those that are manipulating them. We need to rework our deep state infrastructure to ensure that enemies of state do not carry their personal anger and their personal frustration and convert it into a national problem. These are the kinds of things that leaders do. And above all, remember, every soul will taste death, and you will give account for whatever you do now that you are in charge. And nobody is going to sit in the grave with you. Subwana Rabika.
You didn't answer me on Wike and PDP.
You know, I chose to ignore that question because I feel that you people in the media, you are the one that created a monster out of a midget. Let me repeat. You people in the media, you created a monster out of a midget. Anybody can be angry. It is the responsibility of the people in the state to say, okay, yes, so you said what you said, meaning what? You can't insist that the political party that was founded behind his back, that gave him all the preeminence he has in his life, you cannot insist that you are going to reduce it to him. And if the party is struggling and there are loopholes in the constitution that he may be taking advantage of, it's the responsibility of the party to block those loopholes. In any case, which other party in Nigeria do you even see that is doing NEC, that is doing convention, that is doing congresses? Since we have been here, you've heard us do congresses in states. We are fighting in some, yes, human nature. We've done congresses in zone where. Well, which congress have you seen our friends do? Our friends, have they not just woken up in the morning and removed chairman and the next day in the morning they say they have another one? Is that how to run political party? When did you ever hear our friends are doing primaries? They did the primaries in Edo, somebody won. The next day in the morning they say, go and do it again. Have you ever heard that in our party? How do you even know that they are running their party? As beautiful as Ashatu is, even as an idea set, you think I'm happy with his party. I pity him. Shebi Buhari is gone now. He is old too. If God gives him one more time, good for him. If God does not give him one more time, that's his business. How will his party survive at this rate? Do they think that you can run a party on an idea that it is always, they have to wait for one man? You have an executive committee in their party. Which day did you hear them say anything that made sense to you? That made sense? Which sense does it make that in the space of having 2 years, they've dumped, what's that man's name? Adamu. Abdullahi Adamu. They've dumped
Abdullahi Ganduje.
Now they are with my friend. That one is not my friend. I'm ready for some time. They've brought my friend. I wish you well. If I will advise you, please, it is not enough for you to say you are the ruling party. What is more important is for you to look at the back line of your party and ensure that the fundamentals that is carrying your party can be a bit more democratic. You can't be running the political party on an assumption that whatever the president said, that's what the party has said. To some extent, yes, in terms of directing principle. But in terms of the operation of political party, it has to get more democratic. People who are pretending to be with you are not with you. Because when people do not have, when their freedom cannot be tested, when their rights cannot be espoused, their silence cannot be taken for support, you could be shocked. And let anybody that has not done an election, let him not say that the vote has counted. Though. Your party, the APC, you only got 8.7 or 8.8 million votes out of 93 million. What happens if the majority of us in Nigeria, we turn up tomorrow morning and we say, okay, we don't want, what are you going to do? Don't deceive yourself. The villa can never be a fortress when the people are standing up. So if I were you, you, I will do everything possible to rally the Nigerians behind me. Enjoy yourself.
Otunba, any last lines?
My last line is that I created the alternative movement, a pan-Nigerian movement for us to have this type of engagement. So that everybody starts to say, what can we do differently? How can we be having a conversation on Nigeria that will be about Nigeria? How can we ensure that people that collected PVC understand that they have a civic responsibility to go out and vote? How can we reduce the need for money in the thing? If the children of the poor are unfortunate to be poor now make them even more unfortunate by ensuring that they cannot even participate in democracy without money. How do we ensure that as Nigerians we can be less tribal? How do we all as Nigerians now go and look for the type of councillors we need in our area, the type of House of Assembly we need, the type of governors we need, the type of reps we need, the type of senators, the type of president and governors we need? Why should I be happy? If there's anything, any failing in this democracy, especially under President Tinubu, is the mess that is going on in National Assembly. I cannot imagine how a Democrat can be happy that the National Assembly of Nigeria has turned itself into this joke. When you hear the stories of what they are saying around appropriation, what they are saying around, selling contracts and all, you want to press a button and just bomb the whole place down so that they can just be gone. Because the institution that is supposed to check Nigeria in a democracy is the National Assembly. Any leader that says that the decay in the National Assembly has gotten to that level and is not worried is not a Democrat. You have to be worried. It's like the saying, you say, oh, the Nigerian judiciary is not, no, don't say that. The judiciary cannot always give you judgment. And the judiciary cannot be right only when you get judgment. The judiciary is the judiciary whether you got judgment or you don't get judgment. If you don't get at the lower court, go to the next. If you don't get at the next, go to... Once the Supreme Court speaks, then the judiciary has spoken, and the answer is court. You shouldn't allow a nation to be such that every Tom, Dick, and Harry, especially highly placed people, will be using their language to undermine the judiciary. What are you trying to create here? So we need a reset. And I've been on that apostle. I'm carrying the weight, my back is breaking, that we can reset the country. If we accept that the generation of the Bola Tinubu and co have done the best they know how to do, shall we not prepare for the success of you and I? Shall we not prepare for a different thing to drive succession? Or shall succession be because you are from Imo, you are my enemy, or because I'm from Abeokuta, I'm your enemy? Why? So my last word is Nigerians. We are the greatest black nation in the world, definitely by miles. We have the best food. We have the best music people are dancing to. We have the best culture. We have the best flamboyant style. We are so stylish. We are so great. We are so educated. We are so intelligent. Almost in every Ivy League school in the world, we are tops. We have a duty to believe in our Nigeria. And everything you do, remember, be your brother's keeper. Be your brother's keeper. Show love to yourself. Understand and accommodate yourself. Lower the tone of voice of anger among yourself. And by the grace of God, he who must judge the world is compelled to make sure that greater things happen for Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Otunba Dr. Segun Showunmi, for making our time and pouring it out for us today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
We really do appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And that's all we have for you, but definitely in the future, we'll still have more conversations with Otunba Dr. Segun Showunmi. But for today, we're done, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Let's do this again sometime very soon. My name is Maddox, Maduka Ojimadu signing off. Do have a beautiful day ahead.